Hello, Namibia. Welcome to your daily lunchtime show where we get to catch up on current events and headlines that are in the news. My name is Priska Anyolo and you are watching NMH at 1. So let us first have a look at the incoming news this morning. According to a press release by the Ministry of Environment, Forestry and Tourism, MEFT, the Canadian gas and oil exploration company Recon Africa has submitted the Environmental Impact Assessment, Draft Environmental Management Plan, and associated documents for planned seismic surveys in the Kavango to both the Ministry of Mines and Energy and the MEFT Environment Commissioner. Recon Africa has invited the public a few days before Easter to submit any objections by the 9th of April. Now objections and complaints can be handed in at the office of MEFT Press Officer Romeo Muyunda until 5 p.m. on the 23rd of April. The organization's soul, known as Save Okavango's Unique Life, had previously complained to MEFT about Recon Africa's original deadline for the handing in of complaints. And now moving on to our COVID-19 update for today. Namibia has over the past days again started experiencing an increase in new cases of the coronavirus. By Friday, more than 344,000 people have been tested for COVID-19 in the country, a figure that by Saturday rose to about 346,000. Namibia's cumulative number of cases now stands at 45,500, of whom 43,600 have recovered. Over the last 7 days, fatality rose with another 33 from 537 to 570. The vaccination rate continues to show ups and downs, with less than the daily average of 220 doses being administered on 8 of the 13 days since the campaign started on the 19th of March. With private hospitals opening their vaccination sites today, these rates are expected to increase. Since last Monday, the number of people accommodated in official quarantine facilities increased from about 1,200 to more than 1,400. Do join us tomorrow to find out exactly how many active cases there are in each of Namibia's 14 regions.
Come on now. Bar crazy good time. Hey. I see you freak like baby. Yeah. Are you up? Crazy good. Are you up? Are you up? Are you up?
As always, next we bring you video news clips from around the country. In our first video, Percy Mbakera, the principal of Monica Genko Secondary School in Ocharongo, shares his gratitude with the Indian High Commission for their donation of 200 solar lamp kits to the learners. Esther Kamati was there.
Yeah, this morning we have been very blessed. We received a colleague from the Indian High Commission based in Windhoek with a very good, valuable donation of 200 solar kits that was donated to our learners, because this is an initiative of sensitizing also the community in seeing solar energy as a source that is an alternative to what we are currently using, which is electricity and so on. So they decided that it will be better if they can empower our kids through a workshop, assembling these solar kits, and then the learners will then get it for their own use, which means it will impact our community. So as a principal, I'm really very much grateful and happy linking my school to the community I'm serving, that is located in Umbili, Tsarakhaypes, that this light really will bring a blessing in the house.
Arnold Kamana, a tailor based at the Rundu Open Market, talks to NMH at 1's Kenya Kambowe about the impact COVID-19 has on his business. He says that his monthly income has been slashed by half since the pandemic emerged. He is calling on fellow business people to keep trying and not give up as the situation might normalize in the near future.
Things are going a bit better, but not compared to like it was before COVID-19. Yeah, my business was negatively affected. I reached some point where I have to spend my savings. So it's going a bit and a bit, but not like it used to be before. Yeah, I just have to do my best. The little I'm getting, I have to support that. I have to support my family with the little that I'm getting. We must just keep going. We hope maybe the situation will not be permanent. One day maybe we'll get to normally. So still do business like we usual.
And now for our third and last video insert for today. Lazarus Haihambo is painting while Philemon Jonah is welding the beds of the pupils at Shitua Secondary School in the Ohangwena region. The school opened its new hostels last month after years of delay. School principal Hendrik Nyinyeshengwa said that while the worst is over as the pupils are now living in decent accommodation, they do not have enough beds and mattresses for those who have been accommodated in the hostel and need good Samaritans to come to their aid. The school is home to 875 learners. It accommodates 776 pupils in the hostel with 400 girls and 376 boys. Tiemo Haidula submitted this clip that you are watching right now. Looking at the front pages of various Namibian papers today, we see that the Algemeine Zeitung leads with a story about Prime Minister Sarah Kukongelwa Madila, who was accused of selling a resettlement farm back to the state for a horrendous amount of money. The farm is also said to have been in a desolate condition. The Minister of Agriculture, Carla Schlettwein, on Friday denied any favoritism towards the Prime Minister and explained that Kukongelwa Madila sold 2 farms to the state that were previously in the private possession of the Prime Minister and her husband. He also elaborated that the evaluation of the farms was done according to common practices and that there was nothing wrong with the price that was paid for the farms. The Namibian Sun focuses on President Hage Geingob, who suggested that former Justice Minister Saki Shangala, whose trial over fish rod corruption allegations is slated for next week, has no moral standing to advise SWAPO on what to do to avoid perishing. Shangala wrote a 31-page document titled A Modern Economic, Social and Political Program, Namibian Socialism, from his jail cell last month, in which he warned the party to evolve or risk becoming irrelevant in future. The Republican reports on the Ministry of Environment, Forestry and Tourism that invites stakeholders to the tourism industry to develop a multi-million-dollar tourism concessions in the Tsau Kaib, known as Speergebied National Park. The tourism concessions include resorts of more than 60 beds, each at Griffith Bay and along the Orange River, as well as activities such as adventure trips that include 4x4 dune safaris and adventure safaris along the coast. The national park was officially opened on the 15th of November 2019. It was then announced that the support to NAMParks for the park's infrastructure with the help of the German Development Corporation by the KfW and co-financing from the Namibian government by the Ministry of the Environment would amount to 8 to 5 million euros, then 80 million Namibian dollars. The Namibian leads with a story about NamWater that is being owed 807 million Namibian dollars by local authorities and regional councils throughout the country, as well as NamPower, who is said to be owed 1 billion Namibian dollars by government institutions. NamPower threatened to cut off the power of these institutions shouldn't they have paid their bills by today. New Era reports on its front page about 2 petitions that were supposedly sent out by the management of the National Housing Enterprise within the last 10 days, which are alluding to serious governance deficiencies at the NHE. And on the inside of our country's newspapers, you'll be able to read up on the following. On its page 3, the Allgemeine Zeitung reports about a new campaign that was recently launched by the Ministry of Health and Social Services in order to reach more people with immunodeficiency diseases or HIV to inform them about tuberculosis preventive treatment. On page 2, the Namibian Sun writes about the groundbreaking ceremony marking the official kick-off for the construction of a homestead shrine and memorial museum for the late Chief Hosea Kutako in Toas's village in the Arminius constituency, which was presided over by President Hage Geingob on Friday. The shrine and museum will be constructed at the historic chief's homestead in remembrance of his heroic role towards Namibia's struggle for independence. The Namibian on its page 3 reports about a cleanup campaign that took place this Saturday. A group of volunteers and various companies joined forces to clean up the site around the historic Fort Altefesta in the capital. On page 3 of the Namibian, you can read up on a story where an appeal panel has dismissed a former prison inmate's appeal against the media ombudsman decision not to direct the Namibian to publish an article about a book that the ex-prisoner wrote about his release from jail. New Era on its page 3 in turn focuses on the bail hearing of the former National Council member and Okahanja constituency councillor Steve Biko Boyce, who is accused of rape. The bail hearing is scheduled for tomorrow. In all 3 NMH publications, you will also find today's Market Watch and Sport Wrap. The Market Watch leads with an article about the fact that for Namibia's economy to get back on track, it is of critical importance to aggressively spend on the health sector to guarantee a healthy and productive workforce. Today's Sport Wrap reports about the big boxing bonanza that took place in Windhoek this weekend.
If you're feeling how I'm feeling and you know I won't stop, all we gotta do is take our love to the top. If I got it and you want it and you'll never let it drop, all we gotta do is take our love to the top. I will ride for you, maybe even die for you. When I'm loving you, but my heart don't stop.
Finally, we have prepared a short weather update for you. But with that, we have reached the end of today's lunchtime show, and we do look forward towards engaging with you again tomorrow. And thank you so much for watching and supporting us. Please do join us again at the same time and at the same place tomorrow. Until then, I've been your host, Priska Anyolo. Be safe and do stay healthy. Goodbye, Namibia.